Alright, round 4, game 2. This is my noise going up against Haas-Bioroid Engineering the Future. Pretty good opening hand here. This is a siphon recursion deck. It's one of my earliest versions of noise siphon recursion. Unlike later builds, I relied very heavily on resources with this build, which is weird because it is a tag me build. But the idea was to use my own resources as kind of a credit denial thing for the corpse. You'll see some of that here. So, great opening hand. He leaves R&D open, so we're gonna check it out. Started with economy and a virus. This was before cash came out, so I was playing with Gorman drips at the time. Not a bad start. We'd see he's relying on, it appears at this point he's relying on asset economy, which is not good for us. We're going to want to go trash that. And he plays a hedge fund to get up to 11 credits. So we run headquarters. We always want to kind of keep abreast on what ice is on headquarters. We don't run suckers in this deck. We didn't run suckers in this deck, but we do run parasites. We're gonna let him get the money in the run. I think we gotta kill Adonis here. Probably want to run R&D after this. Drop him below 10 credits. Apparently I decided to draw instead. Yep, and there's restructure. So he's playing restructures and asset economy. Still drawing for cards though, so we're still getting some virus counters on Gorman. It's down another remote with no protection. Let's find out what's on R&D. It's a Viper. Very trace heavy on the ice so far. Normally I wouldn't mind spending 3 or 4 credits depending on whether or not he boosts that to access card and R&D, but when we're sitting at 6 with Liberate in hand, we want to go ahead and bounce off and get that Liberate out. And he reses Eve. If he doesn't put any ice over Eve here, we want to take the money off liberated accounts and then run Eve. And he's already got 14 credits, but we're kind of in this for the long haul. We want to get to a point where we can siphon him down to nothing. We can't do that if he's got an Eve sitting out there. I should have played Joshua B at some point. Especially now that I've cleared out the liberated account. I'm going to get tags eventually one way or the other. I'm not too worried about it. And if I get the Joshua B out there, I either get an extra click or it's just one more thing for him to spend money and clicks trashing. We're going to go ahead and clear out the Gorman. I had 4 counters on there. I did that in case there's a roto turret here. I don't need the money since I don't have any breakers out. And here is a Heimdall. It would be tempting to click through, eat the brain damage, but as many assets, well, we've seen an Eve and an Adonis. It could be another. I don't know, but he wasn't protecting those. Of course, he didn't know I was going to trash both of them too. I don't know. I think I might want to eat the brain damage there to see if that's an agenda. We're going to put Parasite on Caduceus. Just trying to keep that headquarters thin so we can get these siphons off eventually. That was a beta test. The beta test fails, so we're going to hit Archives. He just put 3 cards in there, and we'd already milled 2, I believe, with the Gorman and Parasite. Got a beta test. 2 beta tests. I milled the forgot to comment on that. I saw the toll booth on top of R&D and played the Gorman drip earlier to mill it into Archives. Toll booth is not a piece of ice I want to have to deal with this game. So my breaker suite in this deck is 2 Corroders, 2 Knights, and 2 Crypsis. Crypsis is kind of a last case scenario, but typically I have the money. It's there to get into something whenever I need to get into something. And Knight's there to make sure I can get into headquarters to get the siphons off. And then Corroder's just all around good barrier breaker. And we're gonna, sitting at 4 points, we're just gonna take a couple stabs at R&D now and then. It's 3 credits if he doesn't bump that trace. Eli. You gotta think that's probably the Eli that he's putting on Archives. And he just clicks for credits. Again, we're gonna keep making him res whatever ice is on headquarters. And that's a quandary, that's perfect. So we're gonna Parasite that immediately. You know, we haven't seen what's in headquarters yet. If that was the Eli he just put on Archives, it means there's probably not any ice in headquarters. So I think it'd be smart to, we're not going to drop tags either way. So I think it's smart to take a stab, get an access on headquarters, and then go for the siphon. Fast track. Fast track tells me it's probably a fast advanced deck. Although we haven't seen Sansa and City Grid or anything like that in there yet. All 3 beta tests are out, but that tells me there's probably 3 Vitruvius in the deck. He's probably around 6/3/2s. And he puts another card in the remote without advancing it. So if we think that's an agenda, I think the play here is to Deja Vu for a siphon. We don't expect the siphon to go off, but we expect him to be forced to res this. And then he doesn't have money to res the second ice on that remote. And at 22 credits, we can easily run through and break that Heimdall. This is a Victor, so we'll let him run the trace here. And end the run. Again, we were the siphon play there was just to get him to spend money. And of course, if he couldn't res that ice, then we drop him down to 1 credit with the siphon anyway. Now we play Corroder and run through and break the Heimdall. And we really hope that I was right, and this is another 3-2. Unfortunately, it's Jackson. Then taking hidden cards takes Ash, Hedge Fund, and Tollbooth out. That Ash was milled on one of my viruses earlier. Unfortunately, with the benefit of having asset economy and 3-2s, he can just put stuff unadvanced, and I have to guess whether it's a asset or an agenda. Right now, we're gonna draw back up because we're seeing at 1 card. Yeah, it's another piece of ice on headquarters. Having seen a siphon and deja vu for a siphon, he's got to imagine like there's more of that coming, so he's probably taking measures to protect headquarters. Gotta look at that as siphon protection, probably not protecting agendas in headquarters. I like Gorman here, because right now he doesn't have any asset economy up and running. He's at 3 cards, so he's going to be clicking for credits and cards. I'm not sure I like the hemorrhage play as much. We're going to try getting him spending money. He is going to boost the trace by 1. We're not going to spend 4 credits for 1 access on R&D. But that does leave him with enough money to res another Eve. And now we're at the point where we just don't have the economy to run through a Heimdall 1 to trash Eve. Maybe another Jackson in that remote. Okay, so we went and got ourselves some money. We installed. So the way this works, once you have tags like I do, is you play your resource and just click it for money 3 times. He smartly chose to trash the Armitage, so we didn't get much out of that. So it looks like he's willing to spend money trashing resources. We're going to go ahead and throw Joshua B out here. It doesn't cost us much. It'll cost him a couple credits and a click. We're just doing the best we can to negate his asset economy at the moment. He boosts trace by 1 here. We're going to go ahead and take a stab at it for 1 credit. And Adonis, which as much as you don't want to, if we're going to keep him poor, we have to trash that now. Okay, so he is trashing all our resources, which is smart, but it's gonna set his pace back a little bit, hopefully. We got our Gorman up to 5 counters here, so we probably want to go ahead and take that off. Let's go check this remote. Yep, it's Jackson number 2.
Login rejected.
So 2 Jacksons down. Just 1 left. Presumably. There's 3 face down cards in archives, it look like right there. And he leaves all 3 there. So he takes 3 face up cards, Hedge Fund, Caduceus. We are gonna go ahead and clear Gorman, because it's 6 counters on the table. It's looking tempting for a purge. Place your gamble, and it's probably Ash he puts in the server with Eve. So looks like he's setting that up to be a scoring remote. The way his credits look right now, we're not going to be able to get in there if that's Ash. So we kind of want to get things in gear to go back and just threatening the centrals. Play Grimoire, get another virus out there. It's 4 face down cards in archives now. And not coincidentally, he adds a second layer of ice to archives. At 19 credits, unfortunately, he can res any ice he wants right now. We're going to pull back both parasites and just try to thin that ice on the centrals. And that should be 6 face down cards in archives now. Ideally, we'll draw a Crypsis or a Knight here and start poking around in archives. I think he knows he's on a timer here. He installs and advances twice. I'm sitting at only 3 credits, so there's no way I'm running through Heimdall and whatever ice is in front of it. I probably can't even get through there with him at 20 credits. Draw a siphon. I'm kind of at a loss here. We'll see if this is a 3-pointer. Maybe I want to poke around in archives. I don't know. Yep, looks like that's priority rec, and he reses Wotan. I don't like Wotan because I mean it's great as a taxing piece of ice. And you normally want it on headquarters or R&D. On a remote or on archives against noise, a runner can get through there. You know, a couple clicks, 3 credits, program, brain damage. I think I'm gonna get credits here, but with 7 cards face down in archives, I think I want to go ahead and poke at archives right here. I think that was a mistake on my part. And now he installs something else in his scoring remote. Which I still can't get to. And he puts another ice on R&D. Maybe an Ash on R&D. There's a lot of options right here. If that's a 3-2, he wins the game. So I think you take a stab at archives here. I did this funny. I think I should have just eaten all 4 subroutines there and saved my money. We're pretty sure that's an Eli. Of course, this is actually about a we're actually about the 40-minute mark here, without all the cuts and stuff. That's on top of the first game that went a while, well, 20-30 minutes. So anyway, I think I'm exhausted at this point, but either way, I get through. I definitely could have gotten through that better. And the mystery card in the remote is not a 3-2, it's a Jackson Howard. I found out after this game he did have 2 agendas in there, so that would have been game if I would have gotten through there. If I'd run through there last turn, if I could have gotten through. That is his 3rd Jackson Howard. We had a weird bug with the brain damage not kicking off here, so. Well, and now I spent all my money. That was kind of my glory run on archives, and I just don't have many options now. Sitting at 1 credit. He's got 16. You gotta assume he probably fast-tracked for Vitruvius there. And he puts another ice on R&D. No, he puts it on headquarters. That might be to fend off a siphon. I think my best bet is to make him spend money here. Probably should have siphoned headquarters first, just give him to res the ice there, and then bounce back to R&D. But either way, I don't think there's a way to salvage the. Oh, you definitely don't want to click through Eli. I should have just bounced off of that. Oh, we're gonna say this was at the end of a long night.
Login rejected.
But that's a tough situation to be in at the end of the game right there anyway. I should have siphoned here, so I at least get credits out of it, but he doesn't have any agendas in hand. It looks like he's gonna no res. He's going to advance 3 times. And it is a Vitruvius. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with the 5th round soon.